that experience is weird enough that it could be a book.
Yeah.
And that type of book is interesting enough and unique enough, it could be a series of books.
Yeah. And it comes back to what you said in the beginning of of our talk about edge, and I look back on my life and I think about the most impactful thing I think that probably ever happened to me other than choosing who I was, the person that I married, was I ran this 100-mile run nonstop and I did it for charity and I gave myself 30 days to 90 days to train for it. And it became an obsession. It became my lifestyle for those 90 days to run this race. And I didn't know what the lessons would be at the time. To me, it was just, I'm running this to complete this. And this is my goal, and I want to hit this goal, and nothing's going to stop me, from hitting this goal, that kind of mentality, obviously. But here we are. It's been almost, what, 10, 15 years later since I ran that race. And the benefits still are so significant. And it's something that I can always tap into. The experience with SEAL, the experience with the monks. These are just things that I call are part of what I call your life resume, And we put so much emphasis on our work resume, which is important. But if we turn the model upside down and we focus on our life resume and these moments, and we're aware of the moments when they happen, and we take inventory on them, and we build on those different experiences, to me, that body of work is so equal, if not more important than your traditional resume.
Absolutely. No one, no, after a certain period, for instance, no one's going to ask you where you went to college, but they're going to say, you let a SEAL move into your house and you did whatever he said for 30 days to get in shape, or you lived with these monks for, couple weeks and did all these things to get this experience. And uh, uh, it's those experiences that are a little bit outside, like you say, they're on the edge. If you're too far out on the edge, people say you're just crazy. But if you're right on the edge, people don't know. And then but they respect what you did and they wanna learn from it. And they always say, what I've noticed with my own experiences in this, they always say, "Man, I wish I could have done that, but XYZ are the reasons why I couldn't do it."
Definitely. And what happens when you put yourself in those situations, the real gems, the real life lessons, the real nuggets, they don't come in the direction you think they're going to come. They don't come in the way you think they're going to come. For example, I just took my son who's 8, and my friend who's a police officer in Suffolk County brought his daughter who's the same age, and we hiked Mount Washington in the winter. Mount Washington is one of the 10 most dangerous mountains to climb. It's minus, on any given day, minus 10, 20 degrees, winds blow at 50 to 100 miles an hour, etc. And my son,
275 miles per hour, you mentioned in the book.
that's the record is recorded there. And we took these two kids and we camped out outside at night in a minus 40 sleeping bag, with my son and my friend and his daughter. And we went up there and I was like, man, my son's I'm going to learn all this is a survival thing. And I'm going to become this survival adventure guy, whatever. But what happened was when we got up there, I said to Kevin the cop, who I call him Kevin the cop, I said, Kevin, how often do you take trips like this? And he said, and this is a guy who, works super hard. I assume doesn't come from or have a tremendous amount of money, one of the happiest guys that I know. And just, he's always happy, what we all want. I said, how many of these trips do you take? And he said, it's interesting. I take one a year with my college roommates. I've been doing it since I'm 22 years old. Every year we get together. And then every other month I take a trip, whether it's to run a marathon, go hiking, go kayaking, whatever. I mean, nothing that costs a lot of money, with myself or my family or a friend. So I'm like thinking to myself, if I can't take one weekend every other month, every 8 weeks for myself, or with my family or with my wife or whatever, if I can't carve out one weekend every 8 weekends, like, how out of balance is my life? So I called it the Kevin rule. So I went on this hike thinking I'm going to get all this stuff, but all of a sudden that was a huge takeaway for me and a gigantic shift in kind of one of the rules on how I want to live my life, the Kevin rule. You don't know where the lessons come from unless you put yourself in the position to experience them. It's like I always say at work, I didn't get lucky. I put myself in a position for the luck to happen.